Obviously, we're 1-0 in the ACC, and the goal is to come out here today and be 1-0. It's a win. It was a lot uglier than I'd like it to be, and I told the team afterwards, disappointed more with just the penalties that we had, just some stuff that you don't expect to happen at all. I can run down the things. I mean, Hargrove has a 15-yarder after a first down. We get a holding call after a quarterback scramble. We get a turnover down on the inside the 20-yard line, and we spin the ball and we get 15. Next series, we stop them. Thank God. Next series, we got a guy jumps over the punt wedge, I guess, which again you can't do it, and it's a freshman. But just things like that just can't happen. I just told him, championship teams don't do those things. Really, the entire game, 4 quarters, was really more about what we did, not what they did. So disappointed in the execution of just a lot of things today. But the defense played outstanding. We gave up 1 touchdown in the first half. It was a busted coverage, and really gave them that too. We gave them a field goal, and again gave them defense went 3 and out, and we gave them 3 points here. So really gave them the 10 points, just disappointing. So questions.
How did you think Rashad looked in his first game back?
I thought he looked outstanding. I thought, Rashad coming back, it was great to get him and Keyshawn back, and they practiced all week. It was good to get both of them back, and I'm sure we'll watch the tape and say there's a lot of things he could have got better at, but he's so smart and made a lot of plays today.
This game kind of looked a lot like last year. Were you kind of hoping to show more of a killer instinct in the fourth quarter of this season?
Of course we'd like to. And that's a disappointing thing. And again, I think it's just we kind of kept them in the game. We could have we could have knocked them out early in the third quarter. We gave them opportunities, and again the defense stood up and survived. Special teams still disappointed in our field goal team, and again a lot of things I'm disappointed in, but I'm happy we got the W.
Pat, was that the vibe too in the locker room post game with your players and assistant coaches that you guys feel like you guys maybe didn't do enough today?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, because I told them that's the vibe, and I'm sure they see it, they know it. I got guys coming up saying, "My bad, coach, I'll never do it again." But it's like that stuff can't happen. The details but you know what? You beat an ACC opponent, made a lot of mistakes, and still were able to win. By 2 scores, and I think that's the most important thing.
Pat, what do you make of some of the issues Alex Kessman had today?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We had one was a hold problem, and 3. We'll look at the tape, and just try to figure out what he's doing wrong. And I believe going into the game he was 6 for 6 against Syracuse, all time, and the noise wasn't very much out there. They're screaming from the sideline. I guess I got to do more. We're gonna bring a whole team up when we go field goal period and just scream and shout and whatever. I don't know, but we just didn't execute. And like I said, to not execute and still win the game is a positive.
Ed, you often like to say that the biggest improvement is from week 1 to week 2. Kind of what do you attribute maybe the miscues this week to? Is it mental? Is it physical? Is it maturity?
We grade every play mental and physical, so that's a great question. But I'd say it's a lot of physical and mental, really. When you look at it, it's a combination of it. I think our kids had a great week, as good a week as I can remember having, period. Which I worried about too. I was like, I think I told you guys the other day, Tuesday was so good that, I had to yell at him for something, just to yell at him, because it was so clean. But we just didn't come out and execute. And again, give Syracuse, credit at times. They made some plays, but, you make your best improvements. Maybe we'll make our best improvements from ACC 1 to ACC 2. Great thing is you get a win, and you can, we can go coach them hard on Sunday when we watch that tape and fix a lot of things.
Coach, you touched on it a little bit, but what impressed you the most about your defense today?
Oh gosh, their ability to get to quarterback. I don't know how many sacks we had, but the kids stayed in their lane. How many, EJ?
7.
We had 7, so we're short from last year. So they did a better job protecting, and we missed a couple too. We let them go, and they had a couple, but just the pressure and really the coverage. Obviously when you're getting sacks, the coverage is good. Jason Pinnock played lights out as well. I've been impressed with that guy. That guy's playing. He's playing his tail off, and that wasn't that touchdown we gave up. Obviously, was not his fault.
Who was supposed to be covering over the top there, Pat?
Say it again.
Who was supposed to be covering over the top?
I don't know. I have to go back and watch the tape, but it doesn't really matter. It's, we'll watch the tape and see, but we obviously didn't execute.
Coach, it looked like Kenny was getting pressured all afternoon, a lot of pressure. Could you just kind of comment down on that?
We'll look at the tape, but we knew, they always have a good pass rush. They did a couple things different, which we knew they would, like everybody's going to do. And they got a great coverage. I mean, they got a great secondary. That's a strength of their defense, and they did a nice job back there, with the pressure and also covered our guys.
Hey, you mentioned it earlier in the week that Kenny was a little bit underrated, maybe called the most underrated QB in the nation. Did he open some eyes today? Did he gain some respect?
He gains respect from me, so I don't decide what you guys decide or the national media decides, or what the ACC network says. I just know that guy's a good quarterback. He threw the one pick in the red zone. He thought they were a man, and the guy popped up out of nowhere. They usually are running with those crossers, and they didn't run, and the guy caught him off guard.
With Kessman's struggles here so far, Pat, does that maybe force you, when you get into fourth and relatively short situations inside the other team's 30, does that maybe prompt you to rethink your strategy in those kind of situations, just given the missed kicks so far?
Yes. Yeah, we always do, Craig. Based on the down and the distance, we're always thinking about going for it. That's our mindset, but it's got to be the right distance, no doubt about it. But not, we got a lot of faith in Alex. Again, he started off slow last year and then just heated it up. So, we just got to figure out what his issue is, and we got a lot of faith in him.
Did you like what Vincent was able to do in the offensive line those last 4 minutes, trying to kill the clock and kind of just get the game over with?
Yeah, I think there was a little over 4 minutes to go, and it was a 4-minute drill. And that's what we said. I got in that huddle and said, listen, we're going to end the game in a 4-minute drill. It's a drill we work a lot, and our offense executed to a T. They didn't use the timeouts, which was a little shocked, but so it might have been a little harder. Would have been good to get a couple more plays in and really execute it. But they executed, ran, and got first downs.
Pat, in total, Vincent had 20 touches, 18 carries, and 2 catches. What has he kind of done, in practice to kind of separate himself and earn those opportunities?
He's actually been leading in the backfield, and, just making plays last Saturday. And then again, he had some nice hard runs today as well. But he's doing what we want him to do, and he earned those carries. I think AJ came in and played some good, did some good things. So did Daniel Carter. I'm happy with all those guys. But Vince had a nice day.
You got the 2 touchdowns in the passing game. It wasn't super consistent, but those were about those medium 17, 20-yard passes. When those were working, what were you guys doing right to get the ball into those spaces?
The one touchdown to Jordan Addison was a heck of a throw and a great route by Jordan. Just the way we drew it up and practiced it during the week, and we thought that was kind of money. But again, Syracuse doesn't give up many. I mean, you look at quarterback last week, I think we had more success than really he did throwing the ball down the field. They threw some bubbles, but Kenny threw the ball down the field. It was more impressive that way.
Maybe Jordan's play on third down right before the second touchdown. We think it's 3rd and 10, and he bowled for 12.
Yeah. What's the question?
I'm sorry, Pat. 3rd and 10, late in the second quarter, Jordan caught a pass on the sideline and bowled for 12 yards to get the first down.
It's a great play. It's an effort play. He's a guy, guy that we trust. We handed him off the ball a few times as well. He made some plays today, and he doesn't play like a freshman.
Pat, Lucas had a couple of drops today. Was that just first game jitters, were you able to talk to him about that?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to talk to him too much during the game. He dropped one, came back, caught one, then he drops another one that was right there. I don't need to beat him up. He'll beat up himself over that, and we just got to, get him on the jugs and keep working it. But maybe first game, being the guy, and we expect him to make those plays.
Pat, you guys average just under 3 yards a carry, and you talked about Syracuse's diverse fronts. What did you grade out, and what are your initial reactions to the way your offensive line played today?
I think they played okay. We'll watch the tape and see what we did and what we didn't do. It's hard to say, but they played well enough to win.
Do we have any final questions for Coach?
Yeah, Pat, I mean, some of the penalties seemed I guess random is maybe the best way to put it, but a couple of the illegal formations and things like that seem like things that could be cleaned up. What do you put on those happening here in the second game of the season? At this point.
Yeah, I think we had one in the opener, and we continue to just not get lined up perfect. And we had a couple on the punt team as well, where we had some misalignments or just not being on the ball or off the ball. So we just got to clean them up and again go from week 2 to week 3 and clean that stuff up. We should have 0 pre-snap penalties. 0.